Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
We begin tonight with some breaking news. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Police say they are still looking for possibly 2 suspects who might have been involved in a robbery in South Fargo just near Kmart within the last hour. Let's go out to Valley News Team's Jovana Simic, who is at the scene. Jovana, what do you know at this point?
Thanks, Christine. Well, I can tell you the scene has quieted down here. I am in the Kmart parking lot because Fargo police told me their K-9 unit tracked for the 2 suspects they're looking for. Now, what happened was around 7:30, they got a call about a possible robbery at 1431 Oak Manor Avenue. They were told a female was assaulted by 2 black males. One had a gun. The 2 suspects were able to rummage through the female's purse, and they got away with a small amount of cash. Now, the only description besides them being 2 black males is that they wore dark clothing. Police are still searching for them, but they have stopped for tonight. They're still looking for the 2 suspects. The female was not injured. And as I mentioned, there was another armed robbery at 14th Street South, 2602 14th Street South. There was another man with a gun there, but Fargo police have told me they weren't able to connect the 2 robberies together. Stick with Valley News Live. We'll have more information for you as it becomes available. Reporting live, Jovana Simic, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much, Jovana. As we said, details are slim right now, so be sure to stick with Valley News Live and valleynewslive.com for any updates. Now, in other news tonight, a Fargo man is still recovering after he was attacked in a parking lot the night before Halloween. He was nearly beaten to death and is looking to Fargo police for help. Valley News Team's Natalie Parsons explains why he and his family feel their safety is in jeopardy.
Jack Bacheri was with his wife and children when he stopped to chat with a friend in the parking lot of the Petro Service on 13th Avenue South in Fargo, when all of a sudden multiple cars surrounded them.
They came out there, with the baseball bats, and they beat me up, and left me for dead.
He was stabbed in the leg and hit multiple times with a baseball bat to his head and all over his body. He says doctors told him they don't know how he's still alive. And when he finally gained consciousness, he had other concerns.
I was asking about my wife, and my kids, to make sure that everybody was okay.
A police report has been filed, and Bacheri, along with his family, know exactly who did this. But they are extremely disappointed the Fargo PD hasn't done anything about it, even after his wife and one of his sons had an encountering with one of the suspects a few days later.
They can do that, anytime again, because they got away with the first time.
This is where Bacheri laid bleeding from his head and beaten. You could still see the blood left from 2 weeks ago. I met up with him and his family in this very spot earlier, but they didn't want to stay long out of fear for their lives.
Bring our freedom back. But right now we don't have a freedom anymore.
Now, that family is looking for justice to be served. We contacted Fargo police, who say they're continuing to investigate this matter. Now, Petro Service did not want to comment on that situation. Be sure to stay with us. Ahead on Valley News Live at 9, there's a protest happening right now in St. Paul. And up to 300 people who are against Donald Trump being president are marching the streets. And we asked newly elected Governor Doug Burgum his plan for the Dakota Access Pipeline. But first, it was another pleasant day weather-wise in the valley for most of us. Robert, is that going to change anytime soon?
It'll change just a little bit as we head through the next few days, but no major changes as we head through the next 7 or 8 days. After that, though, we could see some drastic changes in our weather pattern. But right now, it's still pretty nice out there. Taking a live look outside on the Core1Auto.com Valley Skycam. We've got some clear skies and temperatures now 50 degrees. Those winds out of the south at 10 miles per hour. They'll remain out of the south tonight, but shifting to the north as we head through the day tomorrow. Before we check current temperatures elsewhere, I'm going to show you the highs for today. Check out some of these temperatures. 65 here in Fargo, 1 degree short of a record, but 70 in Jamestown and 68 up in Grand Forks. Both of those record highs. Elsewhere across the region, we topped out mostly in the 60s, 59, however, in the Detroit Lakes. Current temperatures, a mix of some 40s and some 50s across the region. 46 in Langdon and Jamestown, 50 in Valley City, 50 in Grand Forks, 46 down in the Wahpeton Breckenridge area. Wind speeds again out of the south will be shifting to the north tomorrow, ushering in some slightly cooler air. Satellite, not a whole lot going on. Just a few clouds out there, and with just a few clouds around, no precipitation out there, none anticipated as we head through tonight, tomorrow, and right on through the weekend. Northern plains and, in fact, much of the central portions of the U.S. in control of high pressure. And that extends all the way out to the west, down to the south, a bit of rain shower activity in Texas, and just a few showers still hanging on in the mid-Atlantic states. For us, as we head through the overnight hours, just a few clouds. Otherwise, we'll see some breezes out of the south, shifting to the north by tomorrow morning, and temperatures dipping down mostly into the low and mid 40s. As we head through the day tomorrow, lots of sunshine, northerly breezes, maybe a few clouds from time to time, but all in all, more sun than clouds. High temperatures getting into the low 50s north to upper 50s south, and by later on in the day, may see a few more clouds as the back end of a system gets a little closer to northern Minnesota. Rain should stay well off to our east. Here in Fargo, we start off the day in the low 40s. By lunchtime, we'll warm it up into the mid 50s, and after topping out in the upper 50s, we'll cool it back down to around 52 as we head through the 5 o'clock hour. And again, breezy conditions tomorrow. Winds out of the north and northwest, 10 to 20 with gusts over 30. Picture of the day. Thanks, Steve, for sending this in. Some reflecting trees on the Red River. We're going to use that as the background to our 7-day forecast. Upper 50s Thursday, a bit cooler Veterans Day Friday, but check out the weekend. Mid to upper 50s with lots of sunshine. A few more clouds next week. And some upper 40s to low 50s. It's just beyond this time frame. We may be talking about snow, and some models hinting that it could be a lot for parts of the area. So we'll continue to monitor that, but until then,
let's not get too excited.
Yeah,
let's relax. Thanks, Robert.
You got it.
Well, it's happening right now. As mentioned earlier, a large group of people are marching in St. Paul protesting President-elect Donald Trump. This is video from our NBC affiliate. The demonstration started early this evening at the state capitol. The group made its way through city streets, blocking traffic and light rail lines at times. And it's an estimated 200 to 300 people are taking part in this protest. They're chanting things like refugees are welcome here and Latinos are welcome here. As of now, police say the protests appear to be peaceful. In addition to St. Paul, protests against Trump's election have taken place in New York, Chicago, Seattle, Portland, Oregon, and several cities in California. Voters in North Dakota are going green, passing the North Dakota Compassionate Care Act with an almost 65% approval. But parts of the new law said the state only had 30 days to get the program going, and that if you didn't live within 40 miles of a dispensary, you could grow your own for medical use. Those on the committee say it could take about a year to get the program up and running.
You're not going to be able to just go out and just start growing marijuana in 30 days. That's not going to happen. Position allows for it. Yes, I would like to try it anyway, just to see if it would alleviate my neuropathy and help me with my drop foot condition. Yes, I'd like to try it.
It's estimated that more than 100 million Americans suffer from chronic pain. Many of them should now be able to get some help right here in North Dakota. We've attached the full text of the new laws on our website. Just click on this story at valleynewslive.com. Governor-elect Doug Burgum answered questions today on major issues facing the state. In his first press conference since winning the election, Burgum told reporters he won't have a lot of time to look over Governor Jack Dalrymple's budget before the session, but will start to work more closely with him very soon. Burgum will be sworn in on December 15th. When it comes to the Dakota Access protest, Burgum said it's a fluid situation.
As governor and lieutenant governor-elect, we're not part of that decision-making chain until December 16th, and so we need to give our full support to the current legislation and not for current administration, and not second-guess any decisions that they might be making at this point in time.
We're very honored to have this opportunity to work for the state of North Dakota, for its people. We're so excited to move forward and bring a business leader to Bismarck. We feel that our campaign resonated. We feel that the people of North Dakota are ready for this change.
Burgum also doubled down on his promise to refuse a salary, saying if he had to, he'd accept it and then donate it back. He called that a bureaucratic mess. Representative Kevin Cramer has been very busy since last night's election. He's conducted 15 interviews today, some with international reports. Cramer developed a close friendship with President-elect Trump prior to the North Dakota primary in June, and their relationship has grown ever since. He became Trump's advisor on energy policy throughout his campaign. The North Dakota Republican was elected to his third term last night, is being mentioned in discussions for a cabinet position as energy secretary.
I can tell you all of that is sort of flattering. It's nice, but my preference really is to be North Dakota's congressman and have a friend in the White House that can help us move good policy that's good for North Dakota. That's my intention.
Kramer says he hasn't spoken with Trump since last night's election results. However, he has been in contact with House Speaker Paul Ryan and other House leadership members who have been in contact with the president-elect. A disturbing story of an alleged child sex crime in northwestern Minnesota. 37-year-old Jeremy Jurdy of McIntosh, Minnesota, has been charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct. Authorities were made aware after a friend of the victim reported it last Saturday. The victim, a teenage boy, told authorities that Jurdy had anal and oral sex with him numerous times, and that at times Jurdy would get him so drunk he wouldn't remember what happened. The incidents may have been happening for years, and the prosecutor on the case has already given notice to pursue a statute that allows a tougher sentence than the sentencing guidelines allow in this case. Now, if convicted, Jurdy faces a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison. The state of North Dakota joined several hospitals and a group of nuns to sue the Obama administration. It's over a federal regulation they claim would require doctors to perform gender transition procedures on individuals despite the medical judgment of the healthcare providers. The plaintiffs say the regulation violates several acts and even the U.S. Constitution. Transgender activists right here in the Valley say doctors should put aside their religious views when it comes to patient care.
When I first started this work, it made me really unhappy and really scared. Now it just makes me irritated. It's so unoriginal. It's so hateful. And what really irritates me about the religious right in this country is how they try to mask their hatred, their bigotry.
We reached out to the Diocese of Fargo for a comment, and we did not get a call back. We'll have much more on this on Valley News Live 10 at 10. Still ahead tonight, we've got more from last night's election results and how local lawmakers are reacting.